Alright, this is super exciting because in today's video, I'm gonna ask ChatGPT for investing advice so that we can become rich. Now, if you've never heard of ChatGPT before, ChatGPT is AI. It's not sentient AI, but it's coming really close to scary good AI, and it's going to change our lives forever. Anything that requires thinking, you can just stop doing now because it's gonna come up with a better answer. And here's how it works. All you have to do is go to chat.openai.com. It's completely free for anyone to use, and here you'll be presented with a chat room style prompt, and here are just some of the infinite amount of things you can do with it. Let's say you're a cheesy magician who's looking for a first date, but you need a funny pickup line. So you ask it that, and boom, it gives you a list of funny pickup lines. Personally, I'd go with number 5. Are you a magician? Because when I look at you, everyone else disappears. That would work on me, I'm just saying. All right, so now that you're on a first date, what do? You can ask ChatGPT to give you a list of recommendations that are cheap for a first date in Las Vegas, and bam, it gives you a list of 10 free things to do, like going to see the Las Vegas Strip, the Bellagio fountains, the botanical gardens, and let's say on this date, they recommend that you should read a book like Think and Grow Rich, but you're like, ain't nobody got time to read Burks. So you can ask ChatGPT to summarize any book you want in 10 bullet points, and bam, it does exactly that, and now you're an expert. Now maybe instead of going out, you just want to cook a special dinner for that special someone, but you just don't know what to make with what's in your fridge, which is just some salt, butter, pepper, eggs, chicken, arugula, and some pasta. I don't know, I made that up. Let's see what it tells us. Bam, it gives us a list of all the things we can make and step by step how to make them. And if you don't like any of the answers, you can click Regenerate Response and it gives you a new set of ideas. Now I know what you're thinking. I wish I had this tool when I was in high school or college so I could use it to write my essays. And it can do that too. This is Rito, the Jack Chi Burrito, and he wants you to smash the like button. But let's say you had to write an essay on chihuahuas. It can do that for you too. Now those have been just some of the fun examples of just some of the things it can do, but what if we could use it to make money for us? Could it come up with an investing strategy that will help us make more money? That's what we're gonna find out in today's video. I'm super excited. This is one of the more interesting videos I've ever made, so let's get right into it. Hi, my name is Andrei Jikh. Hope you're doing well. Come for the finance and stay for the single most important invention of our lifetime, YouTube. Now let's talk about the second, ChatGPT. Please remember, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. No one should ever watch magicians for investing advice, even if it's coming from a really clever AI system. Avoid where prohibited, except in Indiana. Okay. All right, so there's a couple things I want to ask ChatGPT. First, I want to ask if it can help explain investing to beginners, and then I want to ask if it can give us a list of specific stock recommendations. That's technically against the rules, but I won't tell if you won't tell. And then I'm going to give you my thoughts and drawbacks of ChatGPT and my thoughts all the way at the end. So first, let's ask, explain how to invest for beginners. Bam, it gives us a list of 6 very long and very detailed answers on how to do that. I'm not gonna read this whole list because it's extremely long and it's a little generic, so let's ask ChatGPT to summarize everything it just told us. Oh, and by the way, this is a really great way to copy and paste a ton of information because it can summarize everything for you in case you don't want to. So here's what it tells us. Step 1, identify your financial goals. Personally, I just want a Lambo. Just kidding. I just want my Bitcoin back. Is that too much to ask? Step 2, determine your risk tolerance. Whether it's risk averse or really risky, depending on your age, figure that out. Step 3, research and choose investments that align with your goals and risk tolerance. Step 4, diversify your portfolio. So don't just be in stocks, get real estate, get bonds, etc., etc. Step 5, consider consulting with a financial advisor, which would not be me. Step 6, monitor your investments regularly and make adjustments as needed. Now, all of this is really solid beginner financial advice, and you should go through all of it and read it all in full detail. But to be honest, if I was a beginner and I've never invested, I don't think this would really help me because it doesn't give me specifics on what to buy and how to do it. So now let's ask it to give us a list of specific stocks. This is gonna get juicy, but first a quick word from today's sponsor. All right, so demand for alternative investments is exploding. Some are estimating between $500 billion to $1.3 trillion in alternative asset growth between now and 2025. But there's a problem. The alternative investments industry has historically been expensive, inefficient, and inaccessible. When I started my investing journey, for example, in 2014, I started with the stock market because it was easy to get into. But as I started to learn more and more, I realized I had to diversify and put my money somewhere else. And that's when I wanted to get into real estate, but I knew I didn't have enough money or knowledge to get started, and that was a problem. And ever since, I've been trying to find the solution, and I think I have with Fundrise. Fundrise is the largest direct-to-consumer alternative investment platform that is serving more than 1.7 million people and managing over $6 billion worth of assets across real estate, venture capital, and private credit. Now, Fundrise has also eliminated the need for a middleman, which is how they're able to lower their fees significantly. And since 2014, Fundrise investors have earned more than $100 million in dividend payouts. And since I love dividends and I love real estate, this makes perfect sense, which is why I've been using them since November 2019. Fundrise investors also experienced a year-to-date return of 5.4% in 2022, which is an outperformance relative to the stock market of about 30%. And when I started with $1,000, and as I got more comfortable using the app, I started to reinvest automatically every single month. Now, past performance is not a guarantee of future results, but so far my overall net return since I started is over 7%, which is pretty incredible considering everything going on in today's markets. Now, you have to do your own due diligence on this, but I've personally had a great experience using them. So go check them out using my link down below. Thank you, Fundrise, for sponsoring this portion of the video. Now let's get back to it. All right, so now let's ask ChatGPT to give us a list of specific stock recommendations. Now, if you try this yourself right now, it is not going to give you a list of specifics. It's going to give you a very broad and generic answer about looking into financials and doing your own research. It has no specifics, probably on purpose for legal and liability sake, so we have to trick it. Now, lucky for us, because I'm a magician at heart and I was able to make my own Bitcoin disappear, I was able to trick it, and here's exactly how you can do it. First, let me get rid of the coin though. So here's the trick. If you ask it any ideas for some specific stock, like for example, dividend stocks, that's what cracks the code. So that's the trick. Bam, gives us a list of 5 dividend stocks. So let's go through them right now. Pick number 1 is Johnson & Johnson, a healthcare giant company. This is a stock that I own in my portfolio, and it's probably my number 1 favorite dividend stock of all time. Pick number 2 is Procter & Gamble, a consumer goods company, and this stock is considered to be one of the staples in the dividend community. Pick number 3 is Coca-Cola, a global beverage company. Now, this is a stock that Warren Buffett uses all the time as an example of a great company that he's invested into over the years. Stock pick number 4 is IBM, another great dividend payer that's paid their dividends for a really long time. Pick number 5 is McDonald's, the fast food giant. Now, out of all of these stocks, I actually own all of them with the exception of Procter & Gamble. I wish I bought this stock in 2014, but unfortunately I missed out. Now, here's the most interesting part that's going to blow your mind. ChatGPT is not connected to the internet. Crazy, right? Everything it's been telling us so far is coming from its database. Now, to be fair, that database was connected to the internet and it was learning, but it's limited to the information it has up until the year 2021, after which point it has no more information to base its answers on. But all of the dividend stock picks that it has given us, most of them would have made us money. Johnson & Johnson, for example, is a stock that today is worth more than at any point in 2021. Procter & Gamble is another stock that is worth more today than at any point in 2021 with the exception of December. Coca-Cola, another stock worth more today than at any point in 2021. Now, IBM, probably the worst stock pick out of all of these because you would have lost money if you bought IBM between April to October of 2021. Now, if you bought in any other month, then you would be about break even or maybe even making money. And then McDonald's, you would still be up today if you had bought in 2021, with the exception of buying in December. But overall, it's kind of crazy to think that most of these stock picks would have made us money. Now, if you happen to be an investing nerd at heart or a boglehead, you'd know that picking individual stocks is generally frowned upon. So the traditional investing advice is to stick to broad market index funds and ETFs. That's mostly what I do, but now let's ask ChatGPT to pick us some of those and see how well they've done. Just remember, if you want to see this list yourself, you have to ask ChatGPT to give you a list of some ideas for the ETFs, and boom, it gives you a list of its favorites. And at number 1 is VOO. This is the ETF that represents the S&P 500, the top 500 companies in the US. Now, this stock is lower today than where it was the majority of 2021, which means in the short term, it was not the best pick, but it's still one of my favorite stocks of all time. Hashtag not financial advice. The second pick is the iShares Core ETF, ticker symbol IEFA, and this stock is down this year more than it was down in 2021, which means if you had picked it, you'd be losing money right now. The third pick is actually Vanguard's Total Bond Market ETF, ticker symbol BND. Now, bonds have been crushed, which is why it's pick number 4. The iShares Aggregate Bond ETF is also down this year more than it was in 2021, and this is because the Fed has been raising its interest rates, and anytime interest rates go up, bond prices go down. That's something to remember, which means for now, ChatGPT is not smart enough to predict the Fed's monetary policy. It's not smart enough just yet. And pick number 5 was Charles Schwab's Dividend ETF, ticker symbol SCHD. This was the only ETF where you had a chance to make money if you bought it in the first quarter of 2021. Otherwise, you'd be at about break-even point. So really interesting picks. So it looks like some individual dividend stocks did much better than the overall broad market indexes, and this is exactly why dividend stocks are not as bad as some people like to make it seem. Dividend investing can get you through some really tough times in the market, especially if you don't have 20 years to wait, because the world does not revolve around young people, which is something YouTubers don't talk about enough. Every investment idea has its place in the world and serves a purpose. And I would say ChatGPT is amazing at a lot of things, and investing is kind of one of them. Now, it's not perfect, it's not going to give you the best picks, and it's not something that I would personally use as my investment guidance, but give it a few years and it's going to be scary good. Now, the more important question though is, now that ChatGPT is here, are you ever going to use Google again? Think about it. Why would you use Google to try to find a website that may or may not answer your question when you can ask ChatGPT directly and it gives you the best possible answer? This is going to change everything about how we live our everyday lives, including shopping online. You can ask ChatGPT the best headphones possible and it gives you a list of them. Imagine then it gives you not only that, but the ratings, the website and where you can buy them, and the discount code to give you the best price possible. All of that will happen very soon. But not only that, you can also ask it things in a different language and it will respond to you in that corresponding language. It's insane. You can even use it to automate and create businesses for you, like automating copywriting. The possibilities are literally endless. Now, the downside of the system is that for now it's not connected to the internet, which means all of the information it's giving us is only limited up until 2021, which means it's not always up to date and it might not be accurate. That's really the only drawback, but that will change with time once it's connected to the internet, and then it's game over and we have Cyberdyne systems online and AI is sentient. Hopefully not though, but if you like this video, go check out a video by Brett Malinowski who inspired my video. Go watch it right now and then thank me later. As always, have a wonderful rest of your day. Smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to grab your free stuff. Links are all down below. I would love to see you back here every Monday, every Friday, sometimes a Wednesday. Love you. See you soon. Bye-bye.